booting up another game that I played almost religiously as a child. Hopefully the audio in this one is a bit better. The last two videos were absolutely abysmal. First I had the system volume so low that the person I was co-opting with could not be actually heard throughout the video. The next I actually screwed up even more by setting the system volume higher than my own and you couldn't hear me. So I tested around with it a bit and I think this one should work fine. So let's play some Insaniquarium. For those who don't know, this is my real life name, by the way. And might as well turn that on. Alright. So, Insaniquarium. I think after Mummy Maze, this is probably one of the first 5 games I ever played as a child. This is the Deluxe edition, which is for desktop. Back then it was only a browser-based game. PopCap really came far. Anyway, it's just kind of this relaxing little game. For the most part, well, at least for the first couple of levels, you don't even need your hands on the mouse. That's gonna change later on when it becomes almost as bullet hell-esque as Heavy Weapon, if not more so. But basically, this is the game. You have some fish and you do things. Collect money from them through some form of magic, and then buy more fish, and as you proceed along, you're able to get this last slot, which holds an egg. Which you then, when you finish the egg, you finish the level, and that unlocks a new pet, which you'll see at the end of this one, because it's a very short level. That sound is me knocking on the tank, by the way. It's right-click. It doesn't do anything, but it's a thing you can do. Can we appreciate the music here? Like, seriously, PopCap Games has done a lot of amazing things in terms of turning out kid-friendly games on all kinds of things, but man, the music is on point. Anyway, I have over 450, so I could just buy all 3 egg pieces. And there be Stinky. Stinky the Snail did originate from Insaniquarium, back on the Flash browser version. Then he just kind of became a central character to the point where he even appears in Plants vs. Zombies. Quite a useful lad. So basically, you can... once you have more than 3 pets, you actually have to choose 3 to take into a given level. So you can only have so many people helping out at a time. However, they're convenient little guys to have around. The top 3 most useful pets in the entire game, well, definitely the top 2 would have to be Presto and Blip. Presto you literally don't get until the last level of the game. You actually have to beat the final boss. You can only use him on like a second playthrough. Okay, thanks for the graphical errors. What? Okay, let me just... yeah, that's an interesting time. Anyway, this is another part of the game, of course. You have to kill those lads so they don't kill all your fish. If you run out of living fish in your tank, even for a quarter of a second, game over. But yeah, you just kind of proceed like this, and life is fun. Anyway, as I was saying, the pet's Blip, the porpoise, he's an amazing source of information. As soon as the game starts, he opens up all of the little things up there that allow you to unlock new stuff. And he tells you where aliens are going to appear, how much health an alien has left, everything. Very useful guy, and you get him towards the end of the 3rd tank out of 4. It's a decently long game. There are, what, 20 levels? Yeah, 5 times 4 is 20, so that's kind of how basic math works. Upgraded the food. When I feed these guys now, it'll cost the same amount, 5 whatever per click, but it lasts a lot longer now, and it's a lot more nutritious, so younger guys will grow up a lot faster. As it mentioned there, the alien will automatically go away from whichever direction you're shooting, which allows him to be kind of bottled into a corner. Well, that was a sound. Something tells me the fact I'm recording this is causing some bugs with the game. Hang on, let me make sure my mouse sensitivity... Yeah, my mouse sensitivity was a bit weird there. This music is good, but wait until Tank 2 and Tank 3. Those are like probably some of my favorite music that PopCap has ever turned out outside of the in-game music from Heavy Weapon and maybe a few of the songs from Plants vs. Zombies. Bejeweled is really good too. Honestly, PopCap just kind of does really well for music. Let's see if I can remember. It was Nico. Yes, Nico the Oyster. Next one will be Itchy the Swordfish, and Prego the Mama Fish, and then Zorf, and then we're on to Tank 2. So yeah, Nico's a good guy to have around. You'll see why in a moment, of course. It takes a while for him to create it, but... Well, if you paused the video, or probably didn't even need to pause when I was thinking, to read the description. I actually had my eyes closed up until the moment I said the word Nico, just because I was trying to remember what this guy was. See if I could be correct about it. There we go. And just like that, 350 bucks. Wait. No, did I math that wrong? It was 250. Such soothing music. I actually have constructed a playlist of music from Insaniquarium, Plants vs. Zombies, Bejeweled, and I think I added in Titan Quest, actually. Because Titan Quest also has some good music. I might need to play that for a video sometime, because it's an incredibly long game. Then again, so is Sacred. But man, it's so good. I guess we're stuck with medium fish until for another round of hunger, so go Stinky, collect. There we go. Now, I'm gonna need to buy a piranha, but I don't have any baby guppies, so I'm gonna have to hold off on that for a bit. And that's how this game works. It's a food chain. Eventually, it's not until Tank 4, but you get Ultravores, which are these massive, weird-looking fish that eat the carnivores, or as I prefer to call them, piranhas, because they kind of... I don't think they look anything like piranhas. I've never actually seen a piranha, but I call them piranhas because that's what I called them when I was 3, when I first played this game. The diamonds are quite valuable, worth about 200. Exactly 200, actually. And they not only drop from the carnivore, but also whenever you kill a alien, you get one. And you can also get them from the star catchers of tank number 2. I forgot what else creates them, if anything. Let's see, the starfish from Tank 2 create stars, worth 40. Star catchers create the diamonds. Go on to Tank 3 and you have the Guppy Munchers and the the Guppy Crunchers and Beetle Munchers, which create beetles and pearls respectively. Honestly, just from that sentence, you could probably figure out how that whole dynamic works. And if not, then, well, wait until the Tank 3 video. Hey, guess what, alien? Ha! Prepare for Itchy the Swordfish. The man himself. This is a very cutesy game, isn't it? Like, even Gash the shark is incredibly cute, so... It's probably concerning that I can, from memory, rattle off roughly 80% of the pets in this game. Alright, let's see, Tank 1, obviously, we get Stinky, Nico, Itchy, and then there's Frego and, Zorf. And then as soon as you get Zorf, you go on into Tank 2. In Tank 2, I'll just wait until the end of this level so that I can kind of go down the list, because having the actual layout can help me remember. But I'll see what I can rattle off in order at this moment in time. Vert, Clyde, Rufus, Meryl, Wadsworth, strange-haired lion man alien is slightly tougher than blue guy, and then with Wadsworth here at the end of Tank 2, going to Tank 3, you've got I think Seymour was second there, so who was first? Oh, it was, Anglerfish Man. What was his name? I honestly don't remember the name of the Anglerfish Man, but then after that you've got, Shrapnel, and then Seymour, Blip, and, Hermit Crab. What was the Hermit Crab's name? Rufus was the Fiddler Crab from Tank 2. What was the Hermit Crab? It was some absurd name that you rarely ever hear, which is probably why I can't remember. Anyway, it was a hermit crab. And then tank 4. Amp is in second place on that one. What was first? First place was the Manta Ray guy. Third is Gash, obviously. Well, not obviously, but I remember that clearly. And then Angie, and then Presto. And then you, of course, got the 4 bonus pets, of which the only one whose name I remember is Nostradamus. Or was it Nostradamus? Because he's literally just a self-propelled nose. It's probably one of the weirdest pets in the entire game. Let's evolve our ecosystem, shall we? Get him, Itchy. Atta lad. Wonder if I should upgrade my laser. Not really any need to do that until probably tank 3, honestly, just because of the fact that you've got the type P to deal with. And the type P is so freaking annoying if you're not able to kill him within one cycle. Again, wait for tank 3 if you want to figure out what the heck I mean by that. It's not how fish work, but whatever. Alright, she just is basically a guppy generator, and I don't really tend to focus very heavily on guppies in this game, so I'm gonna go with my 3 lads there. But I'm gonna drop Stinky off pretty soon here. Just because Zorf, the seahorse, is so much more useful. Alright, what I think I'm gonna do, in terms of video, is I'm gonna play through Tank 1 and 2 for this first episode, Tank 3 on episode 2, and then for episode 3 I will go through Tank 4 and the final boss. Just because each level takes longer than the previous one, so that would help keep times relatively standard. Because Tank 4 plus the boss would take considerably longer than Tank 3. Tank 4 alone would take considerably longer than Tank 3. It might be a good idea to do the second video as Tank 3 plus 2 levels from Tank 4. I'll figure something out. Whatever happens, happens. Stinky really does not like these aliens, does he? Of course, I don't either, but the difference is I have a gun. Don't have enough to buy a guppy, but this guy's gonna drop a diamond before that I need it anyway, so there we go. I'll get one level of upgrade for this. Just that I can take out those Type 2 aliens a bit faster. Actually, those aren't... There's an actual Type 2. Unless you'd call it Type 11. Because it's like the Roman numeral 2. Anyway. It's probably the second, possibly first most annoying alien in the entire game. Which is... makes sense given that it doesn't come along until Tank 4. So, I'll just refer to this red guy as the second standard alien type. You can see how much faster that was with the upgraded gun. Gonna save up until I can get 4 more piranhas and then basically do the same thing I did last time, but going for a $5,000 egg instead of a $3,000. Alright, go through one more cycle until this guy turns green. That way I can roughly sync up the feeding times, which isn't that big of a deal in Tank 1, but by the time you get to Tank 3, if you don't have your feeding times synced up, you're gonna have a bad time with life. Then in Tank 4, it honestly doesn't matter if you have your feeding times synced up. Just because of the fact you never stop clicking everywhere. Oh, jeez, double. Well, accidentally paused the game, and I lost a piranha, and both of my guppies. That was less than ideal. Wasn't really paying attention there. Probably doesn't help that my cursor is lagging about 1/8 of a second behind my mouse movement, but yeah, let's not make excuses here, right? And wait for it. Alright, single. And there we go. Hit be Zorf. And bonus round. You get one of these at the end of every tank. Now what you want to do here is not click on everything, but rather chain these. Because when you click on them, they kind of stack up. And it's not really giving me the shell bags as much this time, but... Alright, and then at the end... You chain as many of these as you can get away with, and it gets higher numbers later on, but that's a decent number of shells right there. You use those for the virtual tank down here, which I could probably buy. Let's see. Oh, is that one of the fish that swims backwards? Some of these things for the virtual tank are rather interesting. Anyway. Aww, this is my favorite song in the game. Just listen to the flute solo in this thing. Actually, I'm just gonna take my hand off and let Zorf do it. Because he fires out stage 2 food, which is a lot better. Alright. Wait until this guy's fully grown so that I don't accidentally kill a man with a star potion. Actually, wait, stop. There we go. There we go, now we have a starfish, or a star space fish, not a starfish. You get what I mean. It's a fish that creates stars through some form of magic. Presumably the same form that the other fish used to create coins. Alright, thank you, Zorf. I'm just gonna star potion these lads and we'll have a good time. Oh, you are kidding me. Wasted 250 bucks there. Probably gonna swap Zorf out for Clyde as soon as I get him. And as soon as I get access to Vert, I'm gonna trade him out for Itchy. Alright, don't waste this one. Don't screw this up for me, Zorf. The fact that Zorf produces free food is honestly incredible. Like, I almost am bothered by the fact that I ended up buying the stage 3 food pellets just because, oh, Clyde comes out before Zorf? Or before Vert, sorry? Huh. Nico's just always useful. I am going to keep Zorf around for the time being. I thought that Vert came before Clyde, but whatever works. Based Zorf over here. Zorf is one of the best early game forms for Presto. Well, Presto's ability is when you click on him, you get this big thing around the edge of the screen that shows every single pet you own, and he can turn into any of them. So if you rush early game Presto Zorf, that obviously, the whole transformation thing being why Presto's the best pet in the game. But, if you switch him to Zorf really early game, he he's able to keep things going, and then you can switch him away to, say, a secondary Nico or something to increase income or whatever you want to do, you know? Alright. Stage 2 standard. I'm fine with losing that diamond to be able to do that, because now I can get these guys. Cutest freaking things in the game. Need to remember to catch a few less stars so that he can do this. He's not only cute, but incredibly useful. The star catchers will starve to death if you don't get them some stars, so it's generally a good idea to have some starfish going on so that you didn't waste your money on these guys, but yeah, they don't need too many of them, just one every once in a while. Though they're certainly able to transform them pretty dang quickly. Don't you dare eat my star catcher. Now, if one of these guppies that aren't full size eats a star potion, it dies on the spot, which is why I haven't given them any. He's not gonna make the far one. Luckily things kind of sit on the ground for a while, so... Alright. Oh, you were kidding me. One of the starfish ate it? Prepare to be beamed. And he consumed my fish. Oh, bother. Clyde over here being the epic man. Oh, you're kidding me. Don't eat those for this man. There we go. Now I can put in some more star catchers. I could probably operate 4 star catchers off of these guys. Maybe 6, actually. Yeah, definitely 6. But I'm not going to go beyond 5, just because, you know, safety reasons. I don't like star catchers dying. They're my boys. Alright, gonna need to start corralling the aliens up towards the top of the screen rather than the bottom. OP gun is best. It might look like this is an absurdly long level just because of the fact I don't even have a single egg piece yet, but once you have everything set up properly, as I do now, things go by pretty dang quickly. Like so. Yeah, could definitely run 6 star catchers off of this. You can see how fast things are able to play out once you've actually got to the final stages. Alright. Hello there, Vert. Alright, so let's get Vert, Clyde, and not Zorf, Nico. Actually, Zorf was making my job a lot easier last round, so I might just keep him. He also thoroughly owns the early stages of the game, as you can tell. Which, combined with Vert, I've got quite a head start here. That was close. Alright, who's in the next level? Alright, at the end of 2-3 I unlock Rufus, the Fiddler Crab, which will make fighting the Type D a lot easier. Aw, jeez, I'm gonna have to deal with the frickin' Type G in this round, aren't I? Yep, that was the warning telling me about the Type G. Better prep for that. This frickin' dickbag. You can't kill him with a laser, you have to feed him food. Which is just the worst thing. Luckily, food becomes magically free when he's in the tank, so... Alright, need to let the stars drop. Keep forgetting about that. Oh, wow. Epic star catcher man catches 2 stars. Alright, what am I gonna be dealing with here? Star potion for you and you. Epic snipe. You know, with a potion, because that's the thing people normally snipe with. Give this dickweed the food he wants. Got him. As you can probably tell, I'm going to be making money quite fast at this point. Unless stupid Type G man decides to be a prick. Let's drop the food up there. No, stop. What heck? Normally he goes straight for the food and ignores the fish. That's odd. Let's see, what have we got? 7. Let's get another one of those up in here. Don't have enough money to buy an 8th. Now I do. Welcome to the diamond mines, boys. Vert's really the one disrupting this whole operation. Oh, you're kidding me. That's why I only had 8 instead of 10. But yeah, Vert's really the one causing problems here because he has this random coin thrown into the mix. Whereas everything else is running perfectly. Luckily, that guy's pretty quick to defeat. Oh, man. The less hungry star catchers keep stealing food from the more hungry ones. And that's that. Now we have Rufus the Fiddler Crab. Rufus, Nico, Zorf. I'll keep Zorf around a while longer. I don't mind feeding the fish, but he does make things a lot easier to start with. Only issue is that he doesn't start feeding them until they turn green, and he isn't able to teleport over to the perfect position to start feeding them, so, you know, sometimes people die. It's not due to lack of food supply, it's due to lack of food logistics. And we've got a Type D on the way. Luckily, they aren't too problematic. Especially when you have Rufus around. Get away from the Type D! You freaking stupid fish. This is why you have the anglerfish. He draws all of your guppies over to one corner of the tank that's as far from the active alien as possible. Because that way things aren't freaking stupid. Alright. I think that all that you meet in this particular round are Type Ds, so... Well, that was stupid of me. Massive waste of material. Material with an E. Or I guess it... No, it wouldn't be material, it would be capital. There we go. Problem solved. I was just thinking about the fact that I needed to buy that guy to unlock these two, rather than, you know, actually being smart in my life. Alright, at the end of this one we're gonna get Meryl, the mermaid. She's the lady on the main title screen. She's an interesting pet to have around. Oh man, I can't even imagine trying to go into a tank 4 level with freaking Meryl the mermaid going around. That would be actual hell. Have you ever thought about how freaking small these aliens are and how much they aren't actually a threat to any life on Earth? Like, these are freaking guppies here. Guppies. The aliens are like the size of that clamshell there. They aren't really all that threatening to literally anyone except for these tiny fish. This man who is constantly being invaded by these fish could just, you know, or not by these fish, whose fish tank is constantly being invaded by these aliens could just, you know, stop keeping fish, and the rest of the world would be fine. Rufus beating the crap out of him. Nice. The Destructor, that's, I believe what Type D stands for, is like Destructor, Destroyer, something like that. Anyway, the Type D is very much a reason to start getting weapon upgrades. Like, the early stage enemies were nothing, but the Destroyer, certainly the Type P, somewhat the Type U, and then definitely the Type 2, just because of the way that it is. Wait for video 4 for that one, or tank 4 video. One salvo, that's all I got. And now I'm probably going to be able to gun him down before they even get a single salvo off, just because of the fact I have the max level gun. Which means I don't even have to click. I literally just hold down the mouse button, because it's the only way in the entire game you can get fully automatic. And man, it's good. Because it also is tied with the level 9 upgraded gun for damage. So it just busts everything open in massive quantities. The really cool thing about Clyde in this tank is that he doesn't collect stars. Yeah, see how fast I gunned that man down? Smooth sailing from here. That might throw a wrench in the whole thing. I didn't mean to collect that star, but it should be fine. Ah, dang it. Did it again. Anyway, you can see how Nico can be quite helpful. It isn't much, but he does add quite a large sum of money every once in a while. But honestly, pretty soon he isn't going to be worth having around, just because of the huge amounts of money you get otherwise. And you need to make room for much more useful pets like Wadsworth. Speaking of Wadsworth, that's going to be the final pet that I unlock in this particular video. And there we go. Meryl the Mermaid. Every once in a while she sings, and then however many guppies there are in the tank, they just start dropping coins. Actually, that works for ultravores and carnivores as well, so she's kind of a powerful asset. Is there anything I can use to really streamline this whole thing? Probably Clyde. I mean, sorry, Nico, but actually, hang on. Graphical bugs again, but I want to show you it. Yeah, having Meryl in the tank could actually be quite helpful for this upcoming part, so. Huh, that's odd. Usually they'd already be fully grown by now. Thanks to Zorf. And there we go. You can imagine that would be absolute hell to try to deal with when you have like 40 of the large guppies on your screen. Because it's just like you have all these freaking golden coins to collect so freaking fast. But for the time being, she's quite useful. She's also a very useful form for Presto. I like Rufus. He's a good lad. He doesn't seem happy with his life, but he's a good lad. Time to make that whole Meryl song even more hellish by bringing in these lads. Well, never mind. Because Zorf couldn't do his freaking job. He just stopped shooting food for some reason. Stop stealing food from the actual hungry man. Don't stand so freaking... These fish always having to swim right up to the aliens. Fish aren't exactly smart. That's just a bit of a taste of what Meryl is capable of there. That's with only 5 fish in the tank. I've had several times this many at once before. I always hate it when the starfish do that to you. Well. Oh, you are kidding me. Have to launch at those ones? Honestly, I might end up just relying on the guppies this round. Just because Epic Meryl is so great. Oh no, I have to get all the way up to 10,000. I better use some star catchers. Oh, Zorf, you have one job. He's good for the early game, but man does he suck as time goes on. You're not gonna make that one. Oh, this is life. You can see how many of these things I'm missing. That's what happens when the star potions hit the ground, by the way. Or if one of the smaller than full-sized guppies eats them. They explode and kill it instantly. Which is why I actively avoid that occurrence. You gotta hang around Zorf, not Starman. My apologies if this is boring to anyone, but I actually quite enjoy it. This is just such a relaxing game for me. I'll put in 2 more star catchers before upgrading the gun anymore. Like so. It is a level 6 already, so it's pretty high tier. I hate when the fish decide to huddle in the corner like that. Especially when there are other fish that rely on them as a source of sustenance, such as this particular ecosystem here. It just kinda tends to decimate a lot of your potential outcome. Or income in this case. There. Now the type D shouldn't bother us anymore, so we can start expanding our population. The true strategies over here. They didn't even have time to really get their hitbox into the game world so they could start killing people before they died. This is a very, very useful gun. Alright, let's get 10 in here, see if we can support that with our current setup. If so, then we've got quite a lot of potential income. Which is, of course, optimal. I just need to start keeping a better eye on the fish because Zorf can't really do his job sometimes. Down you go. Every time that she does that song, it's an absolute blitz for a few seconds. Basically, the way that that was right there, where I was having to click frantically all over the place as fast as I could, that's what standard state is like as you get later into the game. It gets to the point where you physically cannot click fast enough to keep all of your guppies fed. So they start starving to death en masse. Because the way you generate guppies in Tank 4 isn't by buying them yourself. You buy something called a breeder, which basically acts similar to Prigo the mama fish, which generates a guppy every once in a while. So that kinda tends to lead to massive population explosion at excessive rates, to the point where you can't sustain it. And oftentimes the breeders even start dying. So at that point is where you pair the entire ecosystem with Amp, the electric eel, because when you click on him enough times, he zaps the entire world, and every standard guppy, as in these lads here, It doesn't affect carnivores, ultravores, and so on, and it doesn't affect breeders. And if you only have guppies, then one of them will survive, but basically it kills the entire tank of guppies and turns them all into diamonds on the spot. It's kind of cool, actually. But yeah, if you only have standard guppies, then it ensures that you don't have a game over by keeping one of them alive. Because if you are out of fish in your tank, that's it. Anyway, that's that. Wadsworth the whale. Let's do this bonus round, and then I'm going to close this one out. Oh, the game's gonna be a dick to me again, isn't it? $9.34, not bad. Didn't really play that one too well, to be fair. Anyway, that's tank 1 and 2 of Insaniquarium completed. Next we'll go on to tank 3, which will fill this line, then tank 4 for that line. These 4 are the bonus pets. But, anyway, that will be that. Let me see if there's any... Well, nah. Let's save up for, Bentley, was it? Brindley? The scuba diving elephant? Like I said, the bonus pets are strange. But, anyway. That will be... this particular video finished, so... thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.